Greetings and salutations. Look at that. Beautiful day. And welcome to another episode of Toolsday. Today I want to talk to you about a tool that you've already seen, albeit briefly. And I mentioned back when I showed it to you in episode 2 that I was going to carry this knife around for a couple of weeks. And if I didn't like it, you'd never see it again. And if I did, I'd do a review. So this is going to be a knife review on the Outdoor Edge RazorLite pocket knife. So in case you're unfamiliar with this particular blade, go back to episode 2. And I bought this knife kind of, and it was kind of an impulse buy when I bought it, just to show some more contemporary versions of folding utility knives. I was really unimpressed at first, but I said I'll give this thing a try and see if I like it. I really wasn't anticipating that I was going to like it, and I really wasn't anticipating that this would replace my Kershaw grid and my super knife utility knife, which I was carrying both of them, one in each pocket when I found this blade. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a 3.5 inch folding knife. It's a lock back. And it has this little button here that allows you to change the blade. This particular knife comes with 3, and you can get a half a dozen replacement blades for like 10 bucks. My experience with utility knives are like with this type of blade. About 1.1 inch of usable blade. Blade's flat, and invariably what I end up doing most of the time is end up chipping the tip because I'm using that the most. And because it's a flat blade, it's hard to use the entire cutting surface. One of the things I do like about this knife, as opposed to a regular utility knife, because you've got 3.5 inches of cutting surface area, the blade stays sharper longer. When I find myself using this as a utility knife rather than using the point on a conventional utility knife, I'm using the belly of the blade as well as the point. I was using this one day when I was installing the LED overhead lights in the bus, and I was putting connectors on the lights, and I was using this knife to strip the insulation off the wire. And I was just taking the wire and pushing it onto the blade and rolling it, and I ended up getting a burr on this cutting edge, and all I did was take and run it across the ceramic stone, and that burr went away, and I used that blade for a month before I replaced it. So I've been carrying this every day and using it in lieu of my Kershaw and the utility knife that I was carrying. I took those and laid them up on the shelf, put this in my pocket the day that I made episode 2, and I've been carrying it ever since. And I gotta tell you, I'm mildly impressed, because I like to deploy and stow my knives one-handed. I figured out a way that I could do this without actually injuring myself. So who does this knife appeal to? It appeals to people who are lazy, don't want to learn how to sharpen their own knives, and don't have a lot of money to buy a knife, and just want to have a sharp knife with them all the time. And when it gets dull, they can just pop the blade out, discard it, put a new blade in. Bob's your uncle, sharp knife. This knife is not going to appeal to knife snobs. And if you're a knife snob, you're probably not watching anymore anyway. This would be beneath them, because let's face it, the materials here are pretty cheap. Reinforced nylon handle, spring back lock, not that that's terrible, but any other type of locking mechanism would get in the way of the blade detent. So it's a simple system, it works. It's inexpensive. You can always have a sharp knife just by replacing the blades. And it's cheap. Did I mention it's cheap? 20 bucks. Not bad. It's not a very stout knife. It's kind of floppy. I mean, you can feel the whole thing flexing. and obviously you can see it as well, but it's not built with, you know, knife fighting in mind or tactical use. It's a utility knife. It does carry tip up, but it's only right hand tip up. You can't change the pocket clip to a left hand carry. That might be a deal breaker for you if you're a lefty. It does carry to the back of the pocket, so the shape of the handle allows your hand to slip by easily. It doesn't really block access to your pocket, but it doesn't carry deep because of the location of the little cutout for the pocket clip. It does carry pretty high in the pocket, so maybe that's something that you're concerned with. I didn't have anything, you know, inadvertently pull it out of my pocket, but we don't have a lot of pucker brush out here in the Nevada desert, so I don't know, but I haven't had it fall out of my pocket. It's a firm enough pocket clip to where it's probably not going to fall out of your pocket, but it's not so tight that you can't get it back over the edge of your pocket. Does that make sense? But if you're just interested in having a really inexpensive sharp knife on you all the time, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this. It's big enough where it can perform a lot of the same duties that a regular knife can do, and it's nimble enough to do most of what a utility knife can do. One of the reasons why I like to carry a regular flipper knife is because I use it for meal prep. I use my Kershaw grit all the time for cutting my steak and cutting vegetables and stuff when I'm cooking. And this doesn't work as well as I would have hoped for doing food duty. And if you were to use this for meal prep, you probably want to spend a pretty good portion of time cleaning this groove out so that you don't get like chicken guts and steak juice and all sorts of E. coli bacterium growing inside your knife and contaminating your food. So I wouldn't use this for meal prep. But if you want one, I'm giving one away. I'm going to keep this one. I've got 6 more blades. I'll probably never run out of blades for this thing, but it'll go in rotation. And I have another one, and you can win one. It's brand new. It's got 3 blades with it. All you have to do is sub to this channel, like this video, share this with your friends, and you're entered. It's just that simple. And I'll probably give it next Tuesday. In a week I'll announce the winner. Sub to the channel, like this video, share with your friends, and you're entered. So now I'm taking that RazorLite out of rotation, and I'm going to start carrying my new CRKT wasnt. Look at that. I hope you found today's episode entertaining and informative, and if you did, hammer away at that like button. If you didn't, smash the other one. Either way is okay with me. Share this video with your vast social media network if you're so inclined. Any questions or comments down in the comment section is where to put those. Till next time, fellas, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep your powder dry, and have yourself a splendid day. Bye.